Hello everybody, this is Jeremy Mateo with In the DAW. Welcome back. Today's video is going to be pretty interesting. We're going to be taking a look at Space Strip from AudioThing. This is a really cool plugin that is designed to give you stereo imaging effects in a very complete and compact package. Like the Vinyl Strip plugin that I did a video on, feels like years ago. I don't even know how long ago that was. You're able to obviously move every single module around anywhere you want. But there's a lot of other controls that are different from Vinyl Strip. Vinyl Strip was made for degradation, for dirt, for grit, and for a kind of vinyl sound, whereas Space Strip is meant to give you a very smooth but very colorful stereo image. So the way that it does this is by having 5 different modules. The final module is the stereo module, and the reason why I'm starting here is because this is the simplest to understand. It has controls for the side levels and the mid mono bass, and this basically allows you to turn up things that are in the stereo field or what's different from the middle, and you can even mono things up to 500 hertz, basically making stuff like bass guitar or kick drums or bass subs that are very, very sub-heavy mono instead of having them wide in the stereo image. And this is important because in sound systems, in restaurants, in lots of clubs and venues, they will be in mono most of the time. This is a very important tool because of that. I'm really stressing on this because personally, it's one of the biggest things that is a gripe when I work with a big artist and their bass is just non-existent and we have a stadium full of like 1,000 people and they're upset, I'm upset, everyone's upset. So this is probably the coolest section for me. Next up, we have the Ensemble, and we're starting from last to first just because I felt like it, but this one is really cool. It essentially allows you to create a almost chorusing-like effect that helps it sound like you have more signal sources there. And this is very subtle, which means it's very natural sounding. So I want to just play these bongos. This is with no processing. Very bland. They are actually technically in stereo because they were recorded with 2 different tracks, but they sound boring. So if we turn on Space Strip and we just start increasing the ensemble effect, you can hear what it does. Depth is going to be how much is it going to be chorusing and making it sound like an ensemble, while amount is how much of the ensemble effect you want. Spread is going to be how wide, and that's pretty much it for this. So here we go. That's pretty much it, right? Let's check it out in mono and see what it does. And we'll do that by using our submix. So hearing that in mono and then back in stereo, I've noticed that this is almost completely mono compatible. I don't really understand how, but I really hear almost no loss in center quality, which is really cool. Next, we have Ambience. This is essentially a room-ish style reverb. I actually really like this for some colorful reverb effects. It's not like a pristine, mega studio quality reverb that I would use to record a rock album, but it's definitely something that's going to help me get color out of a sound. So let's check this one out. We have level, size, and dampening. This is one that really goes a long way if you use just enough to add some color to the sound. Slapback delays are a huge thing for a lot of country music and for a lot of vocal work. And this is a really good one. We have controls for the level of the delay, the timing, which is 30 milliseconds all the way up to 300 milliseconds, and then the stereo imaging or the spread, mono, stereo, or wide. Let's check this one out. Cool. The next one is Vibrato. This one is really cool because it allows you to essentially do a little bit of pitch shifting and it kind of sounds like it's panning it out. This one I actually really like. It's one of my favorite ones because of how smooth it sounds, but it's also very colorful. So here we go. Depth, rate, and spread. Basically, how much is it going to do the pitch shifting? How fast? And how wide is it going to be? Let's turn it on and check it out. This one should technically not be mono compatible, so let's take a listen to this one. Yeah, this one's definitely phasing, but the other ones kind of really weren't. So what happens if we actually combine all of these together? You get a really smooth and very natural sounding stereo image. Then you can use the contour section to shape the tone. And then finally use the stereo control to increase the stereo image or make sure that your bass is in mono so it's compatible with sound systems. In this case, these are bongos. They don't have very much information in the low end, but we can always mess with it just to check it out. You definitely hear it working. It's pretty cool. Finally, we could actually just see how this has affected the track in mono. So we'll have the whole thing on, and we'll bypass it. We lose a little bit of volume, but overall it's still intact. It definitely sounds pretty crazy, like I've done a lot to it. But in this mix, I kind of like it. Now, this mix has literally nothing done to it. If I show you the tracks, it's got nothing on pretty much anything but the bass, where I have like an amp sim, and then I have space strips. So this is still in the works. There's really nothing going on in it, but it's definitely added a lot of life to the bongos. So let's take a listen to it. Let's bypass it. Now, one thing we can also do is make sure we level match. So we'll bring the volume down. We'll bring up my fader so we can see it. Cool, that's about level matched. And we'll even turn this up because I definitely like these bongos. Cool. So the only thing I could see is maybe having a little bit less of some of these effects, and it would really give me a lot of really cool textures to work with. I can totally see this being something that I could use in a mix like this, where it's a very simple, only like 4 or 5 tracks that were sent to me. And I need something to give it a vibe. And this is something that I highly recommend checking out if you're looking for something that's going to sound natural and smooth, but also have enough of effect to be audible and to be very consistent. And that is all the time I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. You can also check out our website inthedaw.com, where we give away some free impulses and some free presets for the Line 6 Helix, as well as working on getting some new content up on there that you can read up on some reviews. And we're even trying to get some presets up there for Superior Drummer 3. This is Jeremy Mateo within the DAW. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.